Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Yolanda Neely Show podcast. And I am excited because I have another mayoral candidate sitting down with me this afternoon, Dr. Perry.
Whew,
Dr. John Perry.
It's always a joy to sit with you.
I know.
I'm excited about this time we have together.
Sounds like a song. But no, I'm excited for you. You've been working hard. You've been working hard. I always like to start off my show. I know you've been on my show a few times, but for the new listeners, the new viewers, tell us a little bit about who Dr. John Perry is. Tell us your background.
Well, I'm originally from Jacksonville, Florida. Born to a retired truck driver and a mother who's a retired RN. And I love to start there because my mother had me at the age of 16 years old. And as a result, it interfered with her educational experience. But she made up her mind that while raising me, she was going to go through the educational process, put herself through school. And it was hard, but she did it. And she was an example to me that a better life is possible if you're willing to put in the work. Mm-hmm. My dad, originally from Lake City, Florida, moved to Jacksonville, met my mom in the process of moving there. He had basketball dreams. First was a welder. Tried out for the NBA, Washington Bullets at the time.
Wow.
Made it all the way to the third round, got cut. Was very disappointed, but came back home, said I'm going to be a professional truck driver. Put himself through the educational process, the licensing process, became a truck driver. And he was another example for me. That sometimes, life throws you for some things you wasn't expecting. Mm-hmm. But you have the ability to reach a better life if you'll just apply yourself. And so my parents have been great examples to me that life can be better. Mm-hmm. And so in this process, that's part of one of the things that motivates me. I believe that life can be better for the citizens of our community. And I just want to be a voice of hope and be someone that provides the administrative things that are necessary to give them that chance that I believe that every citizen deserves.
Now, you're also a pastor.
Well, yeah, I'm a pastor. From 19, I accepted my full-time call to ministry at the age of 19. Started as a church musician. I did that for 4 years and then felt the rumbling in my spirit that you're called to proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ. And so I've been in full-time ministry now for over 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah. That's
a long time. And you was also the president of the NAACP here in the local chapter here in Brunswick, Georgia.
Absolutely. That was a joy. NAACP heard me speaking at the school board about the importance of diversity and the need to hire more black teachers. And they talked to me about serving as the next president. And so it's been an honor to serve them. I've served 2 different terms. And we've been able to achieve some powerful things together.
Yeah, because it's definitely started making some noise once you became the president. You also ran for a commissioner seat, and you lost by just a few votes. Like 11 votes, 10?
12 votes would have got me the seat. Wow. I was running against an incumbent who had the backing of his particular party at a great level. And so it was a good race. We fell a little short, but I think a lot like with Abraham Lincoln. I don't know if you're familiar with the story, but they say that Abraham Lincoln ran for 3 offices before he ever became the president of the United States of America. And so sometimes, destiny is just waiting for the proper time and the proper position that's rightfully yours. Right. And I believe that we're at that time, that this is the time, and this is what God really has ordained.
So you see yourself as being the mayor. What motivated you to want to run for mayor?
Well, there was a mixture of things. Of course, as the president of the NAACP, there was a major passion to see equality, for all of our citizens to see fairness and justice. I firmly believe that it's impossible to hold a city or nation together without justice. And of course, being president of NAAC, I saw a lot of injustice. And so a desire to be a part of ensuring that there's justice and equality for all was one of the major motivators. We all say that we want to see our city developed. But as a pastor, I understand the importance of having a city that has a moral conscience and that has a moral compass. It's one thing to build your city when it comes to economics, buildings, and entertainment, but you also have to build in a value structure so that when you build up the economics and all of that, it doesn't become a cesspool of violence and crime. And coming from Jacksonville, I saw the growth of homicides grow to a point that the city could no longer reel it in. It's not just Jacksonville, but you see it in Savannah. Atlanta talks about the level of crime that they're dealing with. And we have a unique opportunity as a city to not just build our city from an economic standpoint.
Greetings, I'm John Davis Perry, the second candidate for mayor. We're in the thick of it, and over the next few days, you're going to hear all kinds of things from candidates. Some will say, I'm the only candidate with the preparation to move this city forward. Others will say that I want to continue working in office so that I can continue to advance our city. Here's the reality. If we're going to have a city free of crime, free of the blight that's plagued us for decades, and that has a booming economy with recreational opportunities for our youth, it's going to require that we as citizens come together to build the community that we want and we deserve. I am the only candidate that has over and over again worked to unify our city, because I understand that building a city is bigger than just one leader. It requires a unified community that's committed to building the city that it wants and deserves. And so I want to encourage you to meet me at the polls so that you can vote Perry. A vote for Perry is a vote for a passionate, progressive, principle-centered leader. And we all know that's what we need in this season. So I want to encourage you to meet me at the polls to vote Perry, because now is the time to let your voice be heard.
Hello, and welcome to Kim Mays State Farm Agency. I'm Kim Mays, the owner of Kim Mays State Farm Agency, located here in Stockbridge, Georgia. We're a local insurance agent providing auto, homeowners, life, and health insurance. Our value is that we provide personal customer service to our customers, taking the time to get to know them and making sure that we're providing the coverage that will best protect their family and their needs. If you would like to have a policy review or an appointment today, please give us a call at 770-282-6622, or you can find us online at www.coveredbykim.com. Thanks, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Once again, welcome to the Yolanda Neely Show podcast. I have Dr. John Perry, the second.
That's right.
Running for mayor of Brunswick, Georgia. Now, Dr. Perry, there's so much attention on Brunswick, Georgia. I mean,
Right.
all over this world. And one of the things that last year you spearheaded a lot of the attention that was drawn here after the video was released on the killing of Ahmaud Arbery. You on CNN, MSNBC. You kind of you became like more of the face, nationally. What do you see is happening now? They're picking the jury. How do you see the trial going at this point?
Well, for this jury selection process, we got off to a wonderful start.
Okay.
Our faith community came together. It was about 50 pastors and ministers that came together before they started the official selection process. And they sung, Lift Every Voice and Sing, and I offered a prayer.
Okay.
And the prayer was for peace and unity within our city. And so we're continuing this message that a passionate pursuit of justice doesn't have to be at the expense of peace. And so we're setting that tone all over again because we want our city to remain a peaceful city,
Right.
While at the same time being passionate about the pursuit of justice.
Exactly.
And so the jury process is going good so far. The last number I heard was that they've gotten up to 30-something jurors.
Okay.
And the ideal number is 54.
Okay.
And so we're gonna get the jurors that we need, and we're gonna begin this process.
Yes.
And we're gonna see justice prevail. And so we're standing with the Ahmaud Arbery family, Marcus Arbery and Wanda Cooper, to just make sure that they get their justice, that they get the opportunity to go through the process of justice.
You know, I've lived in, many cities doing what I've been doing, but I've never been this up close and personal with a case like that. I mean, we know about George Floyd because we saw it on the news. I mean, people, they rallied, they marched, but we live here.
Right.
But for it to happen, I should say literally 5 minutes from my house, because my phone went crazy, how does that make you feel, that type of attention came where you live?
Well, I think in this area, we're not strangers to injustice happening and tragedy hitting us. And so we're used to it. I think the thing that we're not used to is the level of national and global support that we received for that level of injustice that happened. Now, we don't have people riding around in trucks trying to kill black people.
No.
And so I don't mean tragedy in that way, but we've had our share of different tragedies that were significant. And so it was refreshing at one level to know that the nation really has a heart to see justice. The amount of people that came together, because sometimes you hear the news and you're thinking to yourself, man, we're lost as a nation. People have lost their consciousness. They've lost a sense of empathy for other people. But when it came to Ahmaud Arbery, the nation and the globe really stood up and said enough is enough.
Absolutely.
We've got to do something, and we've got to change the injustices that we're seeing that are going on all over the world.
Absolutely, because that happened before Breonna,
Right,
before George Floyd.
right.
It just so happens that we don't have local news here in this particular community. So, and COVID came and people got worried and everything, and of course we knew what happened with the DA.
Right.
Everything kind of got swept under the rug. But you and a lot of the other community leaders said, no, we're not going to let that happen.
Right.
No, 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 no. So we're very proud of you for that, for, actually, sticking up and standing out there for us. And again, it's just weird, especially me being from a bigger city, to be a part of that, because people are like, how do you live there? And I'm like, this is a great community.
Right.
This is a wonderful community. I don't have a problem any which way. I mean, you got a few people, but you got people everywhere.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter. I lived in Miami. You have people over there, but it's still a great community, and I see the love. I see now there's a lot of people that are visiting here. They're coming from other places. They're supporting the family. I mean, they came in busloads from D.C. and here. How have they been acting downtown? Because I haven't been over there.
Well, things have been peaceful and very orderly. You said something earlier that I was a part of a group of leaders. And I was humbled to be the face of our city during that time. But it was because our leadership trusted me with that moment. And I didn't take that lightly. I wanted to make sure I did my part to speak truthfully regarding the situation and the need for justice, but also speak truthfully regarding our city. And you've mentioned it. We are really a great group of people here in the Glenn County area and in the city of Brunswick. And so, fortunately, things downtown has been peaceful because those leaders have been meeting, have been talking, have been organizing and strategizing. How do we make our guests feel at home? How do we make sure that they're able to have access to restrooms? How do we make sure that we're able to communicate to them the food options that they have? We've really tried to think through all of the various details so that we can have order. And we can communicate that message to our guests that you are welcome to protest. We believe in justice, but we also believe in peaceful protests.
That is so awesome because, again, you do see, I mean, there's been no issues,
Right.
no problems. Again, people have come from so many different places. So I commend you guys on the peacefulness and the camaraderie that we do have going on at this particular time. So kudos to you.
Well, hey,
And the crew.
Yeah, kudos to our leadership here in this area. We have a great group of leaders.
Okay. Okay, well, we're going to take a commercial break. We're going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit more about your plans for the future here in Brunswick.
Let's do it.
Greetings, I'm John Davis Perry II, and it's election time. Listen, most people make the mistake of not voting when it's not a presidential race. But this race is important to the life of our city, which affects the quality of your life. And so I want to encourage you to get to the polls. You need to cast a vote for leadership that's passionate, progressive, and principle-centered. So that needs to be a vote for John Perry.
Once again, welcome back to the Yolanda Neely Show. With me, I have Dr. John Perry II, running for mayor of Brunswick, the city of Brunswick. So what is your plans for mayor? What do you want to see? What kind of changes do you want to see here in our community?
Well, you know, first of all, our community has been crying out that they want more. That's the prevailing conversation that you hear. And in order to have an economically thriving community, first of all, you have to address safety. And so our local law enforcement have been doing a great job at bringing crime down, but at the same time, we've seen an increase of drive-by shootings.
Yes.
And so that says there's a boldness that is beginning to creep up within our community. And we have to put our foot down and say that we have a no-tolerance policy for violent crimes. And so in terms of violent crimes, I want to be a part of making sure that we can bring that to an end. I mentioned earlier being from Jacksonville and seeing homicides climb and climb to the point that the city couldn't reel it back in. And on my watch, I'm committed to that not being the case. There's some that have a problem with me talking about being adamantly against violent crimes. Because they believe that you target the impoverished community when you have that kind of mindset.
Right.
But my mindset is that poverty doesn't cause you to have a heart that's willing to do somebody else bodily harm.
Right.
Of course, you have those exceptions when it's a violent crime and you're trying to protect yourself. But outside of that dynamic, there's no cause for someone to do someone else bodily harm.
Right.
And so we've got to deal with violent crime. And to do that, you have to increase your law enforcement and make sure that the law enforcement has a presence within the community that they're called to serve. Now, as the president of the NAACP, of course, I've seen the need for reform. And so it has to be a holistic approach. We want to create a community that honors our law enforcement, but at the same time, we want law enforcement that honor the people that they're called to serve. And so I've said to the chief that I would love to see them go to mandatory body cams, because if there's ever a situation where a life is taken or a citizen makes a claim of an abuse of power, that officer needs to be able to justify his actions without question.
Right.
And it's not possible for us to have transparency without the proper information being body cams. And so we want to strengthen our law enforcement, but also we want to strengthen our economic development within our city. And while there are those that believe that you do that through federal dollars and all of those different things, of course we want to bring all of that in. But it starts with us here in the community. We have to create an environment that makes people comfortable investing their dollars within our city, and create an environment that makes the consumer want to do business with us in the city.
Right.
And so you got to create an environment that is proper for economic development. That's why we start off with this whole issue of safety. But then we want to deal with the blight. For decades, we've been talking about the blight that's consuming our city, but we haven't seen it brought to an end. Our current administration has done a wonderful job with the land bank. In my opinion, it can operate a lot more efficient and aggressively so that we can resolve some of the blight that we're going through a lot faster. All of the candidates talk about the need for recreations. That's where I have a little twist. I think we need to do recreation, but I believe our recreational opportunities need to also include structured learning, meaning that we have learning opportunities within the recreational program. So our kids that are struggling, they're able to be tutored. They're able to have those areas where they lack development educationally strengthened. We want to be partners with the educational system. We don't want to take their place. And that's important for me, that people grab. The job of local government is not to take the place of other governing entities.
Right.
And so we are not the educational system, but we can partner along with them in trying to support their efforts in educating our kids. And I think we can do that through recreations. And because I'm pastoral at heart and social at heart, I believe that there's a place for the religious community to partner with other social organizations. Just think about it. Think about how many churches we have scattered throughout the community that are not using their buildings Monday through Saturday.
True.
And if you partner them with fraternities and sororities that have the goal of educating and empowering our youth in unique ways, if you partner those two agencies together, man, we're able to reach and empower so many people. Because it's not about just offering a hand out. We've got to offer a hand up. And empowerment is a meaningful part of doing that. And so when we talk about building a community, for me, Yolanda, it's about getting the community involved. And I know there are those that sell the idea of having relationships statewide and nationally and all of this stuff. But you cannot build community without the community. The idea that you're going to build a community without using the community to build itself is a losing formula. And so throughout this campaign, I've talked about over and over again about being the candidate that has the ability to bring the community together. Because if we're going to grow this community and build, it's going to take community to do it. State representatives, their job is to make sure they get us money.
Right.
And we have people within our beloved city that have all those relationships. We have retired people that have served on the Senate and served in these different capacities. And they're here waiting to serve. But the problem has been, we have been divided.
Right.
And the divide has always kept us from growing like we should grow. And so it's the thing that we really need now is a community that can come together. And when it comes together, all of those different gifts, talents, and abilities will be utilized to make us the community that we know that we can be.
All right. We're going to take a commercial break and we're going to wrap up with Dr. John Perry. Got those great ideas going. The Yolanda Neely Show podcast.
Big Chick of McDonough is a family-owned business that has been serving the McDonough community for over 50 years plus. We believe in good food, good customer service, and good governance. Sandra Vincent, who is running for mayor of the city of McDonough on November 2nd, also believes in those principles. She believes in fairness, equity, inclusion, and representation for all of McDonough. McDonough needs a mayor that will support citizens, advocate for the needs of McDonough, and work to earn the respect of residents and small business owners of our city. Sandra Vincent has earned the respect and support of Big Chick of McDonough. We deserve a mayor who will fight for quality of life, fight for employee development, and fight for economic, entrepreneurial, and small business enhancement. If you would like to help us in our fight for change, Big Chick of McDonough will help you in your support efforts. Any meal that is purchased at our McDonough location will donate 10% of the proceeds for that week to the Sandra Vincent campaign effort. Visit BigChickMcDonough.com.
Once again, welcome back to the Yolanda Neely Show podcast. I got Dr. John Perry, one of the mayoral candidates running for mayor this year in Brunswick, Georgia. Okay, so what do you want to tell the folks to come out and vote? You know, again, we're 60% African American. We don't have a tendency of coming out and vote.
Right.
You lost, again, by 12 votes for the commissioner seat. What would you like to tell this community, how important, the importance of using their voice, which is their vote?
Well, oftentimes we make the mistake of not voting when it's a non-presidential race. But our citizens need to understand that this vote affects the quality of our city, and that affects the quality of your life. And so it's imperative that you come out to vote. Now, all of my campaign, I've been talking about bringing people together, which simply means that I'm willing to bet the farm on the people of this city. I'll put everything on the people of this city. I'm not depending on people outside of the city to make our city what we think it should be. I believe that if we come together and we unify and put our gifts, our talents, our ability together, that we can build a city that becomes one of the top 15 cities to live in within the state of Georgia. Right. Now, there are over 500 cities. And so I want you to catch the goal, catch the vision.
I hear you.
We will be one of the top 15 cities within the state of Georgia, but it requires us coming together. And so I want to encourage people to go out and vote for a leader that doesn't divide, that unifies, because I believe in you and I believe in what our city can be.
Well, we are hoping that everybody hears your plea and come out and vote, because we definitely need some change and we need to continue to grow. Dr. John Perry, I wish you the best of luck. Folks, get out here and vote. Early voting has started. So when does it end?
It ends Friday.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, early voting ends Friday.
Okay.
And then we'll enter into next week, and we will have the day of official voting on Tuesday, November the 2nd.
Okay. I can't vote for you
Hey,
because I'm in the county, but I could wish you the best of luck.
you smiled at me, and your smile has given me energy and confidence.
Oh, I just love this man. I wish you the best, though. Dr. John Perry on the Yolanda Neely Show podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
5 reasons why cleaners love working with their cleaning referral agency. Number 1, freedom from unnecessary work. When you're starting a cleaning company, or any company for that matter, you are so concerned about business cards, website presence, social media presence, invoicing, in-home estimates, all of these things that you need to do that you actually don't get paid for until you actually get the client to show up to do the cleaning. When you're working with a referral agency, these things are completely unnecessary. These are what the agency takes care of for you, saving you time, energy, and money. Number 2, reasons why cleaners love working with a cleaning referral agency. Free services. So in addition to covering that unnecessary work that you don't have to do, we also handle the fees of the customer service. We handle the fees of website hosting and management. We cover the fees of graphic design and management. We cover the fees of credit card processing and etc. We take care of all of the hands-on parts of the business so that all you need to do is focus on the cleaning. Number 3, reasons why cleaners love working with a referral agency. Flexibility. When I first started doing this work, I wanted to have the freedom to work where my son was in school, but I also wanted to attend class parties and field trips. And if he was sick, I didn't want to risk losing my job because I needed to stay home with my son. That's the beautiful part about this agency, is that it gives the same opportunities that I had when I first started to cleaners that may come on and do the cleaning as well. So with the flexibility, as I said, you get to choose your job. You can accept or decline jobs that are given to you within your availability. So if you need to take off for your child being sick, or for a vacation, or a doctor's appointment, you are not at risk of getting fired. You have the opportunity for the agency to send a substitute cleaner on your behalf. So therefore your clients are always taken care of and you get to handle your business. Number 4 reason why cleaners love working with a referral agency: the pay. When working with a referral agency, you have an incredible opportunity to make far more than minimum wage. The living wage is incredible. The way that the clients clean, we offer a majority percentage to our cleaners. They're the ones actually in the field doing the actual work, and we're handling all of the administrative things. So it's very important that we compensate the cleaners with a competitive pay, giving them that freedom that they need to be able to be where they need to be, but also giving them the freedom to be able to pay their bills and have a living wage and not have to work 1, 2, 3 piece of jobs to try to put together a family income. So excited about that opportunity. Number 5, reasons why cleaners love working the referral agency. It's free to register. You've got nothing to lose. All you need to do is go to refermeocd.com, fill out the form there, have 2 years of professional experience, have 3 professional references, 3 personal references, submit to a background screening, and in our county, you're responsible to have a business license, but we'll tell you more about that later. We are so excited to work with cleaners in our area to provide excellent service to our clients and be able to provide an excellent service to our cleaners. This is a win-win-win situation. And at Slightly OCD Cleaning Referral Agency, taking care of you is our goal. We love you so much. Thanks so much for watching.